You have a house under contract, but the appraisal comes in below the sales price. What can you do? Well, that is what we are going to talk about in today's video. Hey there, everyone. It's Blaine Cruse, real estate expert advisor, realtor extraordinaire, and the most electrifying man in real estate. Before I get started with today's video, I have to ask you to tap that subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to be notified when I release a new video. Right now, that's about once a week, but as my subscriber count grows, I'll be able to justify spending more time on the videos to share these all this real estate knowledge and these tips. Also, don't forget to hit that like button if you are so inclined, and leave some words in the comment section down below if you have any questions or anything else you want to add to this discussion. With that said, let's get this rig rolling. In the current real estate market of high demand and low inventory, home prices are going up. More than half of the homes for sale are getting offers well above asking price, and on average, each listed home is getting 5 offers. The current expectation is that this year, the average home price increase will be between 8 to 9%. This is fantastic for sellers, but it can still make for a tough situation when the appraised value of the home comes up short from the sales price. When you have this appraisal gap between the two amounts, you're going to need a solution, and that is when having an experienced real estate agent can be helpful, because a lender will not loan more money on a house than it is worth. So if the appraisal value comes in below the sales price, then there are a few options on resolving that situation. In most cases, it is best for the buyer and seller to work something out. But which one of these options to take can be dependent on the market and how easily can the seller get another contract on the house for the amount they want. I'm not going to go into too deep on the variables like whether the loan type is conventional, VA, FHA, etc., because this is going to be a short overview. But the only thing that you need to know about those differences is that an FHA appraisal currently stays with the home for 6 months on any FHA deal. So whatever that amount the FHA appraisal comes in at, any FHA deal, no matter who the buyer is, will use that appraisal. So the first option is for the buyer to walk away in accordance to the terms of the contract. No harm, no foul. The seller can take a backup offer or just put the home back on the market and secure another offer. The second option is going to be to lower the sales price so that the buyer can get the loan and the transaction can continue. The third option is for the buyer to pay the difference out of pocket. This can be either the full amount of the difference or a partial amount, depending on what the buyer and seller can negotiate. This will increase the amount that the buyer will need to bring to the closing table. Many times in a balanced market, when inventory isn't so low, you can find that the buyer and seller agree to meet in the middle and they split the difference. But when you have a market like we do currently, many buyers are finding themselves in situations where they are having to make up the appraisal gap in full or risk losing the house. In fact, right now we have buyers offering to pay upwards to tens of thousands of dollars over the asking price, and they are guaranteeing to cover that appraisal gap in full with their initial offer in order to secure the deal. The bottom line is that if a seller wants to sell without delay and the buyer doesn't want to lose the home, it is best to work it out so that the transaction can continue. This is where your real estate agent can help be your advisor and advocate to get through it. Well, that's it for today's video. If you are curious as to what your home could sell for in today's Greater Houston market, feel free to reach out. If you are outside of my market, reach out anyways. I can connect you with a like-minded agent in your area that can help you. Thanks again for watching, and remember, with Blaine Cruse, extraordinary comes standard. Take care.